So, hey guys, this is Miss Lady Vixen. So, I just wanted to let you guys, I was just wanting to share my story of dating and whatever. So, I'm dating this new guy. I really enjoy his company. He's so much fun. But he is white. And I need to go to a wedding that was down in New York City. I live in Pennsylvania, which was a 4.5 hour drive to get from where I live to 3.5 to get from where I live to where the party was in New York City on the outskirts of Queens. All right. I'm like, okay. My dad told me it started at 5 o'clock. So I tell my boyfriend, hey, the party starts at 5. So, since he offered to drive since I worked the night before, I knew I was going to be too tired to even go to a party. So he offered to drive. And, my dad said it started at 5. So I'm like, okay, babes, it starts at 5. So what time do you want to leave? He's like, well, with traffic and everything, I want to leave at 9:30. I'm like, 9:30? That is way too early. First off, we're going to a Haitian party, so they're telling us 5 o'clock. It's not going to start till 7. At 9:30, what are we going to do from the time we get there until the party starts at 7 o'clock? He's like, but he's like, time is his religion or whatever, He's like, oh, he's going to be on time. That's the way he is and whatever. I was like, okay, honey. I was like, I'm just letting you know. It's a Haitian party. That means nobody's going to come until like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock is when it's going to start popping. He's like, oh, no. I was like, babes, I'm telling you, you're going to know George today. And he's like, oh, whatever. So I get home. I'm like, it's too early. I need to get some stuff done. I was just trying to kill time because I already knew what was going to happen. I know Haitians. I know how they are. And I know myself. I don't come until the patties are served. Fuck it. That's when the party begins. When they start serving patties, that's when the party begins, because they're not going to put it out like too early and they're not going to put it out too late. They want to make sure you have nice little appetizers and stuff like that. So when the patty comes, that's when this bitch shows up, okay? I come before the patties, okay? That's early. To me, that's early. I'm late if they already served all the lambi, okay? You guys know. All my Haitians know what the lambi is about. So we left at 12 o'clock. 12:30. I was like, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. In my head, I'm like, you're going to be in for a world of hurt. You just take your time. We're going down the highway. We put gas in. We pull out money. We do all this stuff. And we get to the place. It's 4 o'clock. I was like, I already know them. I was like, there's no even reason to even go in there. I'm like, my parents live down the block, babes. Let's stop by my parents' house because I needed to pick up something. So, we drove down to my parents' house, which was about 5 blocks away. And I went there, grabbed a couple of things from my dad's house, my parents' house, whatever. Said hi to my dad. He's not even dressed. And he lives 5 blocks away. It's like 5 o'clock. It's 4:30. I called my aunt. She said it starts at 4, but you know how Haitians are. But yeah, it's 4:30. I'm like, babes. So I grabbed the stuff. And then he's like, oh, I'm hungry. I want to go eat. I was like, well, are we going to grab some food someplace? Because they're not going to be ready. We're going to be there. We're going to be the first person that get there. He's like, no, we could just go to a place. I'm looking at him. I'm like, okay. You think you know my culture. Okay, I was like, I'm going to show you something today, white man. I'm going to show you something today. You think you know? You have no idea. So we drive down there. I can already see by the front there was no cars, no people coming out of the cars, no nothing. I was like, okay, we parked the car. We got out the car, walked up the staircase, walked into a place. There was like no one there. The people were still setting up. They were still setting up. Just to show him, they were still setting up. The girl comes up to me. This is like, at this time, it was like 4:45, almost 5 o'clock. The girl comes up to me and it's like, oh, we're still setting up. Why don't you come back in 45 minutes? And we'll have food for you, and we'll have appetizers, and this and that and third. So I look at him, I'm like, I just want to laugh so badly inside. Like, I knew deep in my soul, I knew I could bet on it. Man, I could bet on this shit. Like, but no. So we're walking back to the car. I could see his face. He's like, he was a little bit upset. So I had to offer to buy him some food. So he's like, oh, I was like, babes, you should just get a burger or whatever. And he's like, no, I'll just get a light snack. I'm looking at him. I'm like, bitch, you ain't gonna eat till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. I'm just letting you know. This is how we roll. It's just how things are. He's like, nah, I'll just get some fries or something. I'm like, you haven't ate all day, babes. You should eat. It's like, It's like, oh, in his mind, he knows how everything's supposed to work. So we go get the fries, go back to my dad's house, sit around for a little bit. He takes a nap. And then we go back there at like 6:20, 6:30 or whatever. Go there, there's some people sitting or whatever. So we sit off to one side. And finally the patties come out. He's like, where's the food? I'm like, babes, first is the appetizers. First is the patties and the little snacks or whatever. After the bride and groom comes in, do their whole thing and jazz, then you have to go through all the games and shit like that, because as soon as the food come out, basically the party's over. So an hour and a half later, the food comes out. And he's like, I guess he never been to like a buffet style dinner or whatever, or you get up, you get called, your table gets up, and you get little things of everything, like a little sample of everything that's up there. The rice, the goat, the chicken, whatever it's there, like a spoonful. He wasn't ready. He thought he was just gonna pick his two things, and then nope, he's just standing there with his plate like, no, wait, you're gonna give me some more food. I'm like, please don't embarrass me. So, but it was good. It was a good eye-opening experience. Like, he sat down, he ate and everything, but the whole time I was like, yeah, now you know. Now you know how Haitians are. I'm not saying all Haitians are like that, but come on, I have a cousin that told people her wedding started at 4 o'clock, but her wedding really started at 5, just so she can have everybody there. Yeah, that's how serious it is. I know what it is. He knows what it is now, but we'll see.